We are getting closer to finishing up our adding pattern papers to our album. We've got this page with the flaps, this just a basic page, and this basic page on the back. So I pre-cut everything for these. I'll give you the measurements and go over it with you. So let me just set these aside. This is the top one. Make sure I don't get them mixed up. Okay. So you have these two flaps on here, and this is our back piece that goes inside. And you have two tags. Now I made mine, remember, with my tag punch, but you can make these with a die cut, or you can just use a angle cut, make your tags any way you want. We're going to make a closure out of this. So you're going to want your scoreboard. I've already done one. Grab your scoreboard, and you're going to put the long side at the top. Here, I gotta. And you're going to score at 2 from the bottom side of your tag, and then fold that up. This is going to make a tie closure piece. So you put this in at the top, the long ways, the bottom to the left, and from the bottom side, go over and score at 2. Okay, it's just that simple. And that's going to make our tie. And you will have either a hole, or you can add a grommet if you want to, or eyelet, whatever you call it. I don't remember what we call them, for your tie. And then I'll decide if I want to use twine or ribbon or what have you to tie that. So we do need that right now to open this up. And before, let's see here, this goes on the front, before we add any pattern paper. So this is really wide. If your tag is not this long, well, you can do just a 1/2 inch from the bottom. If you have a shorter tag, you just want something to glue to your page flap to hold it down. And mine just happens to be longer because I made all my tags the same length, and I hadn't decided at that point what I was going to do. So from the bottom, fold, centered, I'm going to place a tag on the bottom like this. That's going to be covered with pattern paper. Okay. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is going to work. Yeah, this works. I'm piecing mine. So from the pink, one sheet of the pink, look at my notes, guys. Hang on there with me. Double flat with tag closures of the saltwater taffy. So this one is cut at 5.5 wide by 4 3/4 tall. Turn my page so I can see. That's going to go right here. I'm looking at the directions of my lettering. I want to make sure that I round this top right corner here to match up with my flap like that. And then I cut a piece that is 7/8 wide by 4 3/4 tall to go on the side here. Now, if I can punch that, I'm going to punch it. Sometimes when they're little, it's harder to punch. Got it. Okay, so these are going to glue on like this. I'm going to go ahead and glue this one on first. And these glue down over the tag closure that we just attached. So this one doesn't go over it, but all of this together does. So I'm going to kind of push that right there and then line this up and see how it looks. It does cover that. Okay, so I don't have a gap. If you want a gap, you will trim one of these down in the width just a little bit. But I decided to just go ahead and put mine all the way across because I wanted to be sure and cover my tag underneath. So I'm going to line this up here. A little bit of a gap. And line these up. Okay, so I'm going to burnish that down. So that's how that looks for now. So this is going to come down like that. So then this one we do the same thing. I'm going to bring this one up, and I'm going to put my glue on the underside here like this. I'm going to bring this tag up. Scoot everything closer to me though. Use my ruler, I think. Just like this. And line it up straight. Put this one up at the top. Right along the edge, top edge there. Burnish that down. And now I can cover this one with this pink, and I'm going to make it the opposite. It's going to go over here. So I need to round that corner here on the bottom left. Right here like that. Glue that one down. Okay. And then this one's going to go here. So the bottom corner has to be punched. Okay. And I'm putting the gingham side out. I did that correct on the other one. Okay. So this goes like this. Okay. So there's that. And we're going to open this up. And I'm going to go ahead and put this. And I'm using the back side of the sandcastle. So instead of using the gingham, I'm going to make it solid. This is like for a photo mat. I'm looking at my print here. So the two bottom corners get punched. And I'll give you the measurements here just a second. So this one is 6 3/8 wide by 4 3/4 tall because it covers the whole section here. Right here, which is a good place, of course, for photos. Right there, so that's going to fold up like that. This one we can go ahead and glue in. This one was cut out of the pink saltwater taffy, which is the pink gingham, and it's 6 3/8 wide by 8 7/8 tall. I'm going to go ahead and glue that in. I want the gingham side facing up. Make sure your lettering is going in the correct direction on this. Glue hanging all over me, dried glue. Okay. Burnish that in, and then we're going to do this side here. Okay, so the top two edges get rounded to match your flap. It's going to fit right there. And I think I'm just going to be squeaking by with papers for this. I'll have scraps, of course, but full size sheets are just almost gone. I may have one left, and of course I have the cut aparts sheets. Okay, so that closes down. Now then this will be, go ahead and burnish those, kind of make them lay down. Be tied closed like this. This one's going to kind of go under, this one over a little bit. These will be tied closed, and I will decide on what to do with them. So with scraps, we're going to cover that. These are the tag closures. We're going to cover those with scraps. So I'm going to look at my scraps and see which ones I think would look the best with this to bring it all together. I don't know. We've got these. These would be cool, I think, to go with that. Okay, so yeah, let me see if I got a smaller one here to cut. There's that one. That one. So let me get the measurements. I'll cut them and then we'll come back. And I'm not going to cover the top part. I'm just going to make it like a rectangle down in here. Because if you put, I don't have an offset punch. It would be the same kind of punch. So I'm going to cut these and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so you want 4 that are 1 3/4 wide by 3 inches tall. And I did 2 of the check and 2 of this print here. So this is just going to go like this. So they're not going to cover the top part. And I put more of a margin around them so that kind of balances out a little bit where the craft is on the top. Since there's a lot of craft showing on the top, I thought I'd show more around the border of this on the bottom and the sides. So just like that. Okay, so this one goes here. So this just brings in that opposite page, the print on that really well. So I had cut this and then I had these scraps to use. So I hope that's not confusing because I did have this already cut and I didn't tell you yet. Open these up. So the gingham's going to go in the same way. And then this one here. We only have 2 more pages to pattern after this. We're just going to keep right on going. I've already got it cut. So there's that. And like I said, I will tie some ribbon on this. I'll decide after I use my other ribbon what I'm going to do. So this one here, as I said, is from 1 full sheet of the elements, the 4x6 elements, and it is the floral print that I'm using. So it goes right here, and it's 6 3/8 wide by 8 7/8 tall. So that just glues down. Another great place for lots of photos if you want to put those in there. I am not going to put photo mats because this would be a great place to decide whatever size photo you want. Could be a 5x7, 2 4x6s, or just some cropped photos, whatever you need or want to put in on yours. So we burnish that down. So there's that. So this is the last one. It is also going to be just a full flat page. And I'm piecing it. So from scraps, I cut 1. This is from the Blue Skies Ahead floral piece. And I cut 1 that's 5 1/8 wide by 8 7/8 tall. That's going to go here on this right side to cover up this seam. Okay. And this ties in with that, all that print over there across from it. So now my thing here's not laying the way I wanted it to, but that's okay. Okay, got that. Then I cut a yellow dot And this red gingham, the red gingham is 1 1/4 wide by 5 3/4 tall. Has a slight gap. That's fine. And this way it does not. This one is 1 1/4 wide by 3 inches tall. So I'm going to put this on first, the gingham. Let's match it up right here. And then this yellow is going to fit in right in there. So to stretch your paper, piecing it is a great way to do it. Of course, if you wanted this solid, you would cut it 6 3/8 wide by 8 7/8 tall. If you had enough extra paper that you wanted to use, that would work just fine. Okay, there's that. So it's patterned, I believe. Let's take a look. Flip it to the front. So we have all that. I haven't patterned some of these mats and tags though. We've got this in here. We've got this. We got flip it this away. We got this flip up pocket here, and we do have a sleeve here. I can make a sleeve insert here. We've got this pocket. We've got this one that flips up there. This one's be tied closed. It's going to be like this. And this one flips back, and there we go. This right here. Everything's covered. Let's go ahead, since we've done that, and put our pieces on to the front here. And we need to do our ribbon. So we'll do that next. I've taken the ribbon that I received in my design team package, which is this red and white gross grain stripe, and it's a 3/4 inch ribbon thereabouts. This is what I have left over. I cut 2 pieces, 14 inches. I like plenty of ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to take the first one, and my cover is 9 inches tall. So I'm going to put a mark at 4.5 on my cover right there, front and back. 4.5. Okay. First side, I'm going to put some glue here. I'm just going to place it, center it right over that mark. I'm going to secure it with some score tape on the end here, just to hold it while it dries. Flip this over, do the same thing. I'm going to put some glue on each side of my tick mark line. Take my second piece, press it down over it. It should be matched up pretty good. Some score tape over that, right on the end to secure that. Okay, let's go ahead and put the back one on. Once we've got it turned this way, this is going to be like this. Take my backing off my score tape. And glue on this piece that we've already matted to our cardstock, or my colors rather. To get this, have the double mat that I wanted. Put over, don't think it has a right and wrong. And stand up so I can make sure that I line it up pretty good. the margin of the craft that's going to show. Whoop. Get it as even as I can, top and bottom. Okay, so once I get it there, I'm going to burnish. Now, if I had done this without the pages in, I probably could have opened it up really flat. I put my hand under there and it still works okay. Here, I think I need a little bit of glue on this corner just to hold it down. Hold it with my fingers. Burnish. Okay, there's the back. So we already had the spine on. Okay, flip it to the front. And this is the one I chose for the front. So it goes like this. Let's take this backing off. And I am on the front side. Make sure not upside down. Yeah, that's important to do. Make sure you're not upside down. All right, center this one. Okay, it's real pretty. I'm going to go ahead and tie this. Just to see if I can trim some of it off. Like I said, always lean towards having plenty versus having too little to make my bows. And whatever little bit I might have left, I will just use it for tags if I have enough. Make sure I'm getting it the way I like. Okay, so I can cut a little bit off, not too terribly much, so I'm going to dovetail it, which means at an angle towards the fold. Just fold it in half. Make your angle go up towards the fold like this, and then you have that V, that dovetail V in there. Okay, so there's that. So now I'm ready for decorating, adding stickers and elements and things like that. That does take time because you have to think about it. It's a personal choice what you use. So I may show some of it speeded up, or I may just skip to the end and show you what I did add in, kind of go over it with you a little bit. I don't know yet how I'm going to do that, but I will figure something out to show you, make sure you know what I've done. But I think I covered it pretty well, how to pattern this, how to make the pages and all that for this album. It's a little bit different with the single hinge on the page, but you got lots of areas for photos and stuff in there, and I really like the size of it. It's nice and compact. So yeah, I'm going to keep working on it, speed it up, or show more details of it after I get it done. And of course, I will have a separate walkthrough on this that you can watch. So check for that video. I have finished up the decorating on the inside of my album, and I'll do a quick run through of what I did. I decided not to do a speeded up video because even that would have been a really long time. It just takes time to decide and find the different things you want to use to decorate with, but I will pretty much tell you what I did so that you can decide if you want to do the same thing or not. So here on the front cover, I am going to show you what I'm doing for that. So I pulled up this from the cut aparts, and I kind of roughed up the edges a little bit of the cut apart, and then I matted it to some of the ecru cardstock. And then I had this scrap here. I love the trim here. I folded and kind of um, roughed up the edges here and the edges of it, and then also matted it to a piece of ecru cardstock. And I am going to glue this right here in the center. I just wanted some dimension lifting this up. So this is the width of this section here. So just measure that and cut your piece down according to that. So I'm going to, it's just going to depend on your scrap of paper that you're going to use if you want to do that. So it was just in, this piece was left over in with all my scraps, and I cut it down to fit here within this area. Okay, so I'm going to glue that down. Now on this one here, I have been building up the back because it's going to be higher in the middle. So I've already cut two pieces and glued them on about 1 inch wide and just short of the width of this piece. And I'm going to glue another one on. So I do this, you can do this with chipboard or with your scraps of your cardstock just to layer up and get that extra little thickness. And I'm going to see if this is enough. I think it's enough or not. So they don't have to be this exactly the same size, but anyway. So I've got them layered up, and this I want to go right in here. And I think I need at least 1 or 2 more of the cardstock. So I'm just going to, I have a piece here, grab my scissors, and I'm just going to cut a couple of more. Like I said, they don't have to be perfect because you can't see them on the back. So I'm going to glue these on as well, just to get this extra thickness going on. Actually, this piece that I'm gluing on is a different color. It's the, I can't remember what it is, but it's a lighter color, but that's okay. Okay, almost there. I think a couple of more. We'll do it. So this is not going to show. You make it smaller than the piece and just put it where you need that lift. So see here, that thickness there. Oop, sit down. And I'm going to put a little bit more. So what have I got? 4, 5, 6, I think, on here. And chipboard would have been quicker, thicker, but then it is has that unfinished element to it. So sometimes I just like to use the cardstock. I have the scraps anyway, so might as well. Let's see how that does. Yeah, that's a lot better. Just one more, I think. So I think I've forgotten how many layers. Maybe 10. One more piece here for sure. It's a good way to use up your scraps. Here. And let's see how we are now. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so when I glue this down, I'm just going to be gluing on this last piece of cardstock. And then I position my cut apart where I want it. Kind of get it on straight and press that down in those areas where the glue is. So there's no glue in the middle because it doesn't touch down anyway. Burnish that down. So that's that piece there. And then I'm going to use this Sunny Days. Put a little glue on the back of that because I don't want it coming loose. I'm keeping this cover a little bit more simple. I'm not going to put any dimensional flowers on it. I just want everything nice and pretty flat. This is raised just a little bit, but when the album is opened up so that it will kind of lay down flat. So I'm going to put Sunny Days like this. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to just let that dry for a second. I pretty much used up nearly all of my stickers. I do have a few scraps of paper left, one full sheet and a couple of the cut apart sheets I did not use after all. Once I used all those tags, but I'll try to make something with those at another time or use them for prototype stuff. So there's the album cover. Love how that looks. Let me put my scissors up. I'm going to cap my glue off once I'm done with that. And we'll take a quick instructional peek at the inside, and I will have a separate walkthrough of this video. Separate walkthrough video for this tutorial. So we just untie it. There is nothing on the back, just the pattern paper. And so this opens up. So what I did here on this pocket, I did add scrap of paper that I tore the edge and I kind of tattered the edges. I put down one of the bits and pieces that I had, and then I put one of the elements, the chipboard pieces on top of that, added the word beautiful and a bee here. This is a sticker. This is a little booklet I made out of a scrap of the craft cardstock, just folded in half, rounded the corners, and I put one of those elements, scrap of paper here on the front, left up the edges, scrap of paper here, a sticker, wrapped one of the elements, ephemera elements around, and then I tied this, was a bow, came undone. Let me see if I can get it tied back. Little tiny bow like that in there. So that tucks in that pocket like that. And then this is one of the tags. I put a bit of that ribbon in there, stapled it on, tied some twine on that. Just use your different scraps and things. This pocket back here, this is my long tag. I put a piece of that paper that, you know, is all together already and added memories. Of course, I corner rounded that. This was a photo mat. I'll probably not give the measurements of photo mats because they can vary based on your scraps. These are all scraps that I just grabbed off my table. So this is pretty wide and tall. I did use some of the lemon paper on that, a scrap of the red, and another strip of scrap. So you just look at all your scraps of paper. They're a great way to add dimension and decorating. This is just one of the 4x6 cards, and I rounded the corners. So that just tucks in like that. So you see all the different colors of the paper like that. So this one flips open. This one I added a scrap of the paper. Down here, this is initial and card number. Then I added a piece of gift wrap tape, and then I inked over it to make it look old with some Distress ink and tea dye. So that's how I got that look there, that kind of off color. This is part of the paper. On the pocket, I put one of the elements here. I added this butterfly stickers. I added a bit of the ribbon and then one of the star stickers right here on top. And in the pocket, I put two of the tags from the collection, a strip of, each one a strip of paper for a scrap of paper, just wrapped it around it, stapled them on. So that's how you do that one. Here I decided to make a pocket with one of the 4x6s. I did use the notch punch that you can get from Country Craft Creations. This is a Dress My Craft notch punch. and I punched that notch. You can also use your envelope punch board. And then I just glued it on 3 sides, the bottom and 2 sides, added a sticker here. The butterflies were already on there. I had this big craft piece of paper I cut down into a tag, added a scrap of paper there to give it some color at the top. Rounded all the corners. On all the photo mats, I rounded the corners. This is one of the brown pieces. Tuck that in. And of course, here's a tag. I used a scrap of the red paper, folded in half, stapled it on, and put that tag in there. So that's that section. Here, I just added one of the chipboard elements right here. When I opened it up, I added the measuring tape sticker across this page. Here, I used one of the elements and glued it on the right and the bottom and made a tuck spot, and inside a small photo mat, one of the larger craft photo mat, and then on that, I did glue on some of the scrap of paper that I roughed up, and then I, at the top, just glued on a tag, and then I stapled on a piece of paper for the top of the tag. So this is all loose. You could put a photo under there and certainly one on the back. So that's just one whole element that I put together with the scraps and things, and just tuck this in. Okay, so there's that one. Here I did another collage. Now on this flip here, I did take a little bit of the ribbon and just glued it on the front and the back and left about an 1/8 or 1/16 of an inch of it sticking out so that I could use that as a pull up for this flap. I added 2 tags that I glued together but didn't attach down. I just glued down here on the bottom, added another one of the elements. I added some of the ribbon and stapled it on, a sticker here, tied some twine into this one, and then I glued this photo mat down behind it so you can still get a photo in there, so it's a large brown photo mat, corners are rounded. For that, then you lift this up, sticker here with the ribbon, smile sticker down here, and the rest I just left plain. Oops, sticker up here with this. Excuse me. Here on this pocket, another scrap of paper. I tore the end of it, tattered the edges, added one of the elements. This is a sticker, and this is a sticker. Inside the pocket, we have another large brown photo mat with the corners rounded. I made a booklet here with the scrap of the craft paper, folded in half. Lemon paper here in the front, floral paper here. This is one of the elements, sticker, and part of an element underneath. Some of the elements, if they're not quite fit where I want them, I cut them in half or something and use that to add dimension. This is a photo mat out of the craft, rounded the corners, took a scrap of the yellow paper and glued that on. I thought that was really pretty like that. And then here's another tag. Added the blue check, stapled that on paper, folded it over for the tab pull, added the celebrate sticker. This opens up. Now I have not added anything into this sleeve here. Still could do that. I'm going to look and see what I have left, so I haven't done that. You just measure and cut it to fit, and then you can add a little, have it sticking out a little bit or add a little tab if you want that. So I may do that or may leave it out. Here on this pocket, it was already pieced together. I did glue on this tattered and folded over and stapled this corner, this piece of paper, and underneath it, on top of it, I mean, another little piece of blue check. Added these stickers, 2 flower stickers and a heart sticker. And then inside the pocket, this is just a piece of the pattern paper. It was a nice, good size. It's scrap. I rounded the corners. I added Easy Breezy sticker. This is a craft scrap mat. I pieced it with the red and then this collage of paper here and added a sticker. Another craft mat, rounded the corners, had a scrap of red that I added to that one. And then another craft tag or mat, rounded the corners, scrap of the lemon paper. Thought that was really pretty. And then this is just one of the elements, and I'm just going to stick that in there. Okay? And on this page Here I, again, glued 2 tags together, glued it on the side. This is the top half of that one that had shown you that I just used the partial. And then I added a scrap of paper here, a scrap of paper there, and then this element here, or sticker, I can't remember. But anyway, with the truck, so cute. These tags, this one has the twine, this one has some of the ribbon stapled on and the twine. And then I left this mat free. It's a scrap of the brown and rounded the corners right there. So I also did add the ribbon on this because this flips up. Put a sticker here with the ribbon. Sticker here, remember I had done that earlier, added the little bee sticker and some of the hearts, cluster of hearts. And then this page we have our tag closure that ties. I added a scrap of the same paper here, folded it in to reinforce that section there. I just tucked it in and glued them together. I'll show you on the back side. I added a sticker here. It was a little wide, so I just wrapped it around the back. So this unties. This is the twine. I put double twine and tied the ends. So see here how it's wrapped around in the back to kind of give it some strength. This opens up. I left this plain. You could put photos. Here at the top, I put one of the tags, added the star sticker, a bit of the blue plaid to look like it has a ribbon in it, 2 scraps, corner rounded for photos. Down here, same thing. I did add these 3 different sticker words, a little bit of the blue here glued on, and then these are scraps also. So use your pattern paper scraps for photo mats. That's a really great way to add some color to your project, to bring in all the different scraps of colors of paper. Okay, this page here, I had a scrap of the yellow dot, folded it over here, added an element here. I actually added 2 elements, the ladybug sticker. This is cut off of another element, tucked that up underneath there, and then I tucked in a large brown photo mat there. This page I decided to leave it as is, pieced together. And here I put this flat pocket here made out of the punch, decorative punch. So in the top of it, I've added 2 tags where I've added the little paper stapled on. That goes in the top there. And I kind of tuck them further in so they're not sticking out of the book. Added a tag here with some twine, element here, and then one of the chipboard elements, because on the inside of the cover you can have it a little thicker there. Sticker here on this element, I mean not element, on this paper is already this way. It says happy, and then this opens up. So I put a pocket here out of one of the 4x6s, notched the top here. I added part of that doily. I fussy cut it out. That was from an element. Fussy cut out the flowers. This is a piece, half of a element. The rest of that measuring tape sticker. In this tag, I put the blue paper folded over and glued the tag down. And then in here is a tag. Let me take all this out. Piece of scrap of paper that makes a good photo mat. Rounded the corners. If you're using scraps of paper to make photo mats, round those corners. It just finishes it off. It doesn't look like just a loose piece of paper in there. It looks like you intended it to be part of the elements or part of the mats. This is another scrap of paper where it's stitched like that. Rounded those corners. And then there's a tag. I tied the twine in. And on these tags, I did punch the holes in all of them. So that's kind of another tip at finishing things and making it look good. Okay, so this last pocket here, this is the paper I patterned it with. I added this sticker element here, the sunshine, and in the first pocket here I have a little booklet I made just out of patterned paper. Well, no, it's out of the 4x6. I rounded the corners, folded it inside out like that, added a scrap of paper in the yellow dot, and another sticker. And this is a photo mat with the 2 pieces of paper that I pieced together from a scrap. just go in like this. And this is a tag where I cut paper, folded it. No, I actually cut the paper into banners and glued them on like that, and then added the twine. And then this is just a cut apart element, or not just one of the elements that come in the package. So I used all of those. I'm going to stick that there. And then back here is my long tag. I put a scrap of paper that I rounded the corners. I tore the top. I added another piece of paper scrap, the blue there. I added this big sticker on there. I folded it over on the back. I added some twine and added the word fantastic as a sticker. And these two are just scraps of paper that I rounded the corners, and they are now photo mats, and they go in the back like that. So I love how this all turned out. Kind of got a little thick here gap. You know, if you didn't like that way, you could actually add ribbon under your patterned paper before you did it and tie this signature piece together. But I'm okay with it. It ties shut here. And that is the tutorial for this album using the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Linen Market Paper Collection from Country Craft Creations. I'll link all the products down below that I used. Let me tie this a little better, make it a little prettier. And so that you can order it, or this design would work with any of the collections that are available at Country Craft Creations. So check it out. Be sure to shop at countrycraftcreations.com for your scrapbook supplies, your paper crafting supplies. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click the bell so you'll be notified of my next project. My next thing that I'll have is another album made with the same type of hinge, the one page with the hinge, using Country Craft Creations Pooh's Adventures with Friends, Ventures with Pooh. It's a Country Craft Creations exclusive paper collection. I don't have it here in front of me. But anyway, I'll have a tutorial coming up on that. So check out the tutorial. I'll link it below. If it's really long, it'll be broken up into a couple of videos, and I'll have it in a playlist for you. Thank you so much for watching, and check out the walkthrough on this, which I will also show everything again that I just showed you. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.